I've been getting a lot of videos recently showing advertisements for teleprompters through your phone, and that got me curious. I wonder if other people who create their content are using features like that. As a writer, it makes sense for me to do that, but I actually enjoy talking off the cusp. I just have a topic in mind, and then I just run with it. And then wherever my thoughts take me while I'm talking, that's where it takes me. I don't read off a script. I don't have anything behind me apart from myself and the camera. I don't think there's any way to say one way's better or the other, though. It's not like to say you're better for it. I'm just curious how people do it, and I think being transparent is always a good thing. I think too many people hide what they do and they pretend they do something else. Me, I prefer to talk off the cusp, and I think that serves me better anyway, because if you was ever on stage or you was ever in a crowded situation, you can thrive in the setting. You can just feed off the moment. And I think for me personally, I would get irritated. I think it would irritate me, to be honest, reading off of a script like that, because if it ran ahead of me or didn't go fast enough, it'd be like that karaoke. You're always trying to stay in tune with it. I don't know how it works. I don't know if it can hear your voice and automatically go with it. I don't know if that's even a thing. I don't know how it all works. But like I say, I'm someone that likes to go with the flow, and I think even if I created a script and I had the script written there and I was trying to read it, I'd probably think of things along the way to elaborate further. A bit like when I'm writing my books and things. You have a concept, you start writing, then you go and read it again, then you keep adding and adding layers. There'll always be something else to add, and I think I'd be more inclined to do that. But then, having said that, when you do like an audiobook, for instance, and you're narrating the audiobook, you're reading the script, aren't you? You're reading your work or someone else's work if you're doing it for someone else. And it's no different. So like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong and inherently wrong in one way or the other. I think transparency is good, though. It'd be nice to know who does what, how they go about doing their work. Like I say, I'm an off-the-cusp person. I think it's quite obvious. My mind deviates this way and this way, but I try and keep myself on point as much as I possibly can. But yeah, I think I would get lost if I was doing it for but I mean, maybe I would do well with it. I think that's the thing, isn't it? But how do we want to do our work? I think is the key. Really, I'm trying to sort this freaking camera out. I guess annoying trying to do this. I do a multi-camera setup with the same camera, but I do it in compatibility mode for freaking YouTube and TikTok. And I think managing two platforms at once is getting quite irritating, really, because you've got one that's thin and one that's freaking long. However long I keep that up for, I don't know, because it's getting a bit irritating, really. I'm having to use my phone, and you lose a lot of real estate with the phone. So that's what I mean. I'm quite transparent. I do screen mirror to the computer. Now, the trouble is, either side of that, you've got the camera on the phone's features, and you can't bloody hide it. So it takes a lot of real estate up. So you're having to zoom in, which is why the picture quality gets depreciated, because you can't just use the actual image on the phone, because you're trying to cut off the ends. So if you have to zoom in to cut the ends off, it gets really annoying. So eventually I need to invest in a really good camera, but you're looking at a lot of money for those. And it works for now, but it's kind of like, it does get tedious doing this. It drains the battery. But that's really my setup at the moment, is I'm trying to do everything on a budget to a point. Always fine-tuning, always finessing. And always looking at better ways to do things, really. But I would say the teleprompter way is a good way if you're trying to limit your time. If I think it could be quite impactful. I think if you do prepare in advance. I don't know if I have the patience for that, because, like I said, I get an idea and I just run with it. I got to talk about it now. Let's get this off my chest. So yeah, there's different ways of going. But I think maybe when you watch people's content, maybe it's quite obvious if someone's reading off of something or not. I don't know. But it just made me curious, to be honest, because I find people are always looking to find loopholes. I mean, again, I don't think this is really a negative loophole, but I think there's always people trying to find a little angle, try and streamline something, make life a little bit easy. But it's that lack of transparency that kind of irritates me. I don't mind, I think it's okay people doing things, but I think just be honest, Yeah, I don't know. Is it good? Is it bad? Who knows? Technology changes with us, doesn't it? But yeah, I like what I do, to be honest. In all honesty, I do like what I do, because it means I can't be caught out. If I was ever being interviewed or I'm ever doing something in public, it's always going to be the same version of me that's sitting here doing this, because I'm talking off the cusp. It's like my thought process. I don't have to have like a notes with me guiding me through anything. It's like whatever someone's asking me, I'll give them an honest answer there and then. Might not be what they want to hear, but they're going to get. If you ask me something, you're going to get something out of me. Yeah.